So Joel, what movie did we watch today?
An extremely movie!
They didn't even make that joke.
Listen. I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Welcome everybody to an extremely goofy movie. I have not watched this movie and I want to say at least like 10, maybe 12 years.
Was it before you graduated high school?
I don't remember.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying 10 to 12.
Alright, yeah.
And your first time viewing, right?
Correct. I believe I had seen the first Goofy movie once before we reviewed it.
Mm-hmm.
This one I had not seen before.
Yep, because I was looking for a DVD of this for a while, because I only had this on VHS, which is part of the reason why I haven't watched it in so long.
Yeah. It doesn't fit in my... It doesn't fit! How do you watch? How do you even use this thing?
So...
I do wonder how many of our viewers even know... if we have any viewers that even know even who were born after the era of the VHS.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I mean, honestly, though, like even my younger brother only sort of remembers VHS.
So. The movie.
Yeah, let's talk about the movie and not VHS.
How good is it?
Yeah, this movie deserves its reputation as being one of the best Disney sequels.
Yep. So because. Yeah, it's on par, if not better than the original.
Yeah, I was trying to decide whether I think it's better than the original or not. Like in the few minutes since we finished the movie, I'm feeling like it's pretty on par.
Yeah.
Personally. Like it. I think it's like a little bit more... I feel like it's a little bit more fun, but like a little bit more fun, a little bit more unpredictable, but a little bit less like emotionally resonant.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of balances out to being about as good.
Yeah. One thing that I can also say about it, it's not as timeless as the original. Like, yeah. This one, it's like, yeah, this is very clearly early 2000s. Like, yeah. Very clearly early 2000s.
But as someone who grew up in the early 2000s, that was very nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
Also, it's one of the few movies that I can think of that have a tie-in literally thrown in as a main plot point, and it doesn't think, and it's not like, oh, we have to go around and get people to watch that instead of after they watch this. Where it's like they talk about the College X Games, which is a real thing, on ESPN, all the damn time in this movie, but they never throw it in your face. It's actually part of the plot. Which is actually something that's rare in these types of movies.
Yeah, it's like, wow! Amazing! You didn't just throw it in our faces.
You didn't just corporate sellout.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I was like, oh, ESPN, I recognize ESPN. I didn't think I knew about the whole X Games thing, though.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't able to gather from watching the movie that was a real thing. Like, I knew as ESPN was a real thing, but...
So, it was at least at the time of this movie.
Yeah. So, what we gonna talk about characters?
Let's go over the plot.
Yeah.
Max leaves for college. I really like the fact that they did age him up. Like, he is... Like, you can look at a frame from the first movie and a frame from this one, he is clearly older. Like, he has more of a built physique, for example.
Yeah. And I want to say he looks a little bit taller, but...
Yeah, I think so, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like the thing where it's like he's gotten older. It shows. He's also a bit more mature in this one. Like, he's not as teenage angst as the original.
Yeah. But I think I really like in this movie, one of the things I really like about this movie is just how Max and Goofy's relationship works in this movie, because it feels like it really feels like a pretty realistic way of depicting, like, they've worked through some stuff, but there's still some stuff going on in the relationship that's a bit rough, but they have worked through a lot of it.
Yeah.
And they get frustrated with each other and stuff, but they also, like, you can tell they really care about each other and they're able to work through it.
Indeed.
Which is really cool.
We're kind of going into characters.
Yeah. But, yeah.
So Max leaves for college. Where's Roxanne? Don't ask questions. Middle school romances die off.
It's been a couple years. Romance died off. He's moved on, apparently.
Yeah, so I do like the fact that his best friends from that movie are still his best friends, though. Like, that is very, like, that's pretty close. Mm-hmm. Like, especially if there's if you have the same interests and there's a college nearby to the point where you can drive to it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't go that far away yet.
Mm-hmm. So then, Goofy gets a bit sad, and then because his little boy has gone off to college,
gets fired.
And then he gets distracted, gets fired. And
that workplace should definitely not be firing him. They should be like, oh my god, you nearly fucking died.
Also, that is like dystopian workplace. Like, oh my gosh, he's literally like got a camera on him that's like, you cannot stop working for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I was like, I love the, like, what the hell happened in between the movies where it's like the first movie, he's a guy taking pictures of kids at a toy store. Second movie, Toy Factory Dystopia. Where did it go wrong?
And then apparently Goofy needs to get a degree that he was never able to get.
Where he did 3 years of college, but it's pretty much... Actually, what did he only do 3 years? It's actually not really shown. Where it's clear, he says that he hasn't been there since the 70s. This movie clearly came out in the 2000s. That's 30 years. We can't blame it on wife got pregnant with Max.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
I mean, it could be he just found a really good job or something.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah, the toy store one, and then he lost that one, but apparently got a job there.
Yeah. I will say, it doesn't I don't feel like it's actually that. I mean, maybe it was different in the 2000s. I don't feel like it's really that realistic that it's like, oh, you literally cannot get a job without a degree. Especially because apparently he was able to get multiple jobs without a degree before.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever.
Like, clearly recently, in the past 4 years at the least.
It's like, it's a little bit of a plot contrivance, but...
Okay.
Whatever, I'll buy it.
Yeah. We need something to keep Goofy in the plot.
Yeah.
Like,
so he ends up going to college, and he ends up going to the same college as Max.
well, you might as well go to the one that you're already paying tuition for.
Yeah. So, yeah, Max isn't too happy about this. Although he...
One thing I do like about this movie, actually, is that he's mortified at the beginning, which makes sense.
Mm.
But then, literally, the next scene after is him being like, "Okay, that makes sense that you're here.
Yeah.
I just want us to have ground rules."
Yeah.
Like, I really like that immediate shift.
And Goofy, he's just like a little bit overexcited and he doesn't really follow the ground rules very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Max tries to distract him so he can do the skateboard things. Segue into the Gammas are villains in this. We'll talk about them later. There's Evil Team.
Yeah. So
not going over literally everything because there's oddly a lot to go over here where there are small scenes here and there that don't really go too far. We can talk about them when we get to characters.
Yeah.
So Max tries to distract Goofy so he can go do skating. Where first he tries to just get Goofy away from him. Where it's like, here, distract yourself with learning. And Goofy gets with the librarian.
Yep. And then he ends up getting Goofy onto the
Gammas team.
Getting Goofy on the Gammas team. And then Goofy ends up outscoring him because of the Gammas strapping a rocket to his skateboard makes Goofy the best skater in the universe, and he gets an almost perfect score. Doesn't really make that much sense to me, but okay.
I'm more questioning why the hell they have state signs for a college game. Why are there different country judges at this college game?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know how that works. And also, I feel like you don't want to keep... Like, you're not going to score... Like, I get scoring scoring people based on how well they do, and that sports are going to be dangerous. This place should get fucking sued for those things where they're like, competition must go on. Keep going.
Oopsie, we don't have anyone to help you if something is literally collapsing on top of you and on fire.
Also, the guy that falls like 30 feet and you hear a thud. That's safety. There's no safety rope there. They're not attached to it. They're climbing the rope.
Yeah, apparently they did not have a proper safety harness, or it failed or something. But, yeah.
So yeah, Goofy outscores him, falling out. Goofy hallucinates.
Frickin' what the heck was that scene?
Like, we're not going over some of the other scenes when we get to characters. What the hell was the trip out scene?
Yeah, I was like, what is going on here? But Honestly, like, by the end of it, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, there's some feels right there.
Yeah.
But at that beginning, you're just kind of like, what the frick is going on?
Did Goofy ingest acid before going for this test?
I was literally like, I was literally like, I developed psychosis, Maxie.
Oh God, bad trip. So yeah, Goofy's life starts spiraling down when Max screams at him to leave him alone and get his own life. Goofy gets it all together, leaves the Gammas, and then the finals happen, where a lot of cheating happens by the Gammas. They should be in fucking jail.
Yeah, but then BJ ends up not being able to participate, and so they need Goofy to join on. So Max gets Goofy to join on his team. By the way, Goofy left the Gammas.
Yeah. And figured out they were cheating, but Max didn't listen to him.
Yeah, because he was still kind of upset. But then Max was like, "No, we need Goofy," and then so they got Goofy on the team. And
I will say that where it's like if the cheating is so obvious that it's literally catapulting people into the sky, how are the runners of this tournament not noticing this? Where it's like, yeah, that guy just left. Competition must go on. He just got flung 30 feet into the air and probably broke every bone in his body on the way down.
And oopsie, it looks like someone literally changed the course in front of the racers. That's fine. That's no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, you're not gonna get disqualified for going off course. You can just take the shortcut. It's literally a shortcut too.
Yeah, I don't know what your plan was here, Bradley. You literally just gave him a shortcut. I guess he was just hoping they wouldn't be able to get down the staircase. But
maybe.
Nah.
But then more cheating happens. Bobby nearly dies. Because, again, the Gamma should be in freaking jail by the end of this. And then Bradley tries to take out Max. Fails to, but Max helps the one Gamma guy. Apparently, the competition is perfectly fine to keep going because Bradley just keeps racing.
That was like the biggest thing where it's like you have multiple people who are like concerned that the contestants are dead, and yet they're like, no, the show must go, the competition must continue.
You are getting sued.
What the frick?
Well, that's one way to get people to watch the X Games. See if a dismembered corpse.
We call them the X Games because we have X's on their eyes.
Well, yeah, they save the Gamma guy, and Max wins quickly after.
Yeah.
And the school year finishes. Goofy graduates. Got a job on campus. And they reconcile.
Except that was a joke. I don't know if he actually got a job on campus.
Oh yeah, it was. Sorry.
It was a joke!
I was just screwing with you, Max. So yeah, the story is just... When you get rid of all the side scenes, the story kind of has like two halves of it that just kind of throws together. Yeah. Where it's like it has Goofy's romance and relation with his son, and then just the X Games, where it's like neither are really like parallel with each, like the parallels are really like hard to get to.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, talking through it all, I'm like, it does. It does feel like it's a little bit. It feels a little bit clumsy at times the way it's written.
Yeah, it feels like it does feel like they didn't have the budget to really like make it any longer, so they had to time crunch it.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, they almost certainly did. Because direct to DVD, direct to video.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still a great movie.
Yeah.
Still had a great time with it.
Still a decent story, worked out well enough.
Yeah. So should we go over characters?
One thing actually beforehand. Wow, this animation still holds up.
Yeah, it's oh my god.
Like you look at other direct-to-video stuff, and it's like, oh, this animation had a downgrade. Meanwhile, this one you can barely even notice, and if they're working on a lower budget, they are doing a really good job hiding it.
Yeah, like like honestly, the animation on this, I'm like, the animation is good enough for me to consider it still, like, I consider this still in the category of, like, timeless animation. I don't think this is ever going to age.
Yeah.
Well, at least in terms of the quality of the animation, and in terms of, like, the fact that it has a whole bunch of early 2000s references.
Yeah, the 2000 stuff is going to age it. But it's pretty... The animation is still really freaking good.
Yeah.
Like, it gets good when it really needs to, and oddly the character designs are actually pretty damn timeless.
Yeah.
Even with the timeless like humor and talking in the movie.
Yeah.
Alright, is it time for characters?
I think so.
Who first? Do we go side characters or main characters first?
I think we say the main characters for last.
Okay, so pretty much 4 main characters, 4 side characters.
So we got, why don't we start with Max's friends?
Yeah, Bobby?
Bobby is, like, a lot more... He's still kind of just, like... He's still like, I think, compared to the first movie, he kind of, like, comes to the forefront more, and PJ kind of goes to the back more, compared to the first movie, I feel like.
Yeah.
But he's still not, like, super important in the plot, but he feels like he feels like he's the more relevant of Max's friends in this movie, and he's a lot of fun, and he has a lot of really like just.
Why are we always wearing gloves?
I lost it. That line was brilliant.
Why are we always wearing gloves?
like it's like the joke isn't really that funny. It's just it's delivered. Like I think it's like they like I think they set up. Well, I think part of it is it's right after like an emotional. It's like right after a pretty emotional scene.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like a little. So you're like not on guard for humor yet, and it's like he's at a table just having like a normal, like it seems like he might be about to say something like actually, I think I like expected him to say something like actually plot relevant and
instead he goes,
sort of serious.
Whoa, why are we always wearing gloves?
Just completely taken off guard by it. But yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about one random joke.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, we both broke to it, so
yeah.
It makes sense.
But yeah, He's not like a. He does a great job of being the character that he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad that he got a little bit more. He gets a little bit more screen time in this than in the.
Yeah, in the first one, he was just like the other friend.
Yeah.
Like I think he only got like the scenes in the school and during the party where they were watching Powerline. The only reason PJ was in more of the movie was because he was hanging out with Pete, who was also part of the movie more.
Yeah.
Also, let's just go over Pete real quick, where it's like he only gets like 2 scenes in this.
Yeah, but he's
Pete.
Pete. He does the Pete things, and he does them well. He's not a big part of the movie, but he does a pretty good job of being like the person that Goofy talks to sort things out, but Goofy sorts things out by coming up with like the exact opposite idea of what Pete's trying to tell him.
Yep.
Which is always pretty fun.
Yep. So let's go over PJ. Poor guy gets kicked out of the climax first off, because he's the one that gets nearly killed by the Gammas, and I don't think he even gets a line afterward.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Honestly, in this movie, he's almost just the other friend. Except for they randomly were just kind of like, so we're just gonna randomly give him a romance.
Yeah, let's give him the romance.
But which does not need to be there. But I honestly kind of here for it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he has a romance with
Beret Girl.
Beret Girl.
She doesn't get a name.
She doesn't. She gets so much more screen time than she's like actually.
I think she's there for more scenes. She's there for like.
She's probably
triple
more
the
than
scenes that
PJ
Pete.
is.
Yeah, she gets triple the screen time Pete does. Like she motivates Max to keep going. She romances PJ. She's there for the first encounter with the Gammas.
Doesn't even get a name.
Nope, not even in the credits.
But she's fun. I enjoy her character quite a bit. Yeah, PJ. Yeah, he's just kind of around.
Yeah.
Not really a problem, but he kind of is more in the background compared to the first movie.
Yep. Okay, so let's go for the villains first. First off, secondary one of Tank. He's the big brute guy.
Yeah, but I will say it is kind of cool how, like, I do like how towards the end he, like, gets some respect for Max and gets fed up with Bradley.
Yep.
Honestly, that's kind of, like, one of the only, like, other than that, he's just kind of...
He's kind of just the muscle.
Yeah, I will say he does, like, it is kind of neat how... I do also like that Bradley kind of has to, like, keep him under control.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a couple of times where he's like, I'm gonna mess you up, and Bradley's like, okay, hold on.
Down, boy, not yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it for him.
So, Bradley Upper Crust the Third.
The fact that his last name is Upper Crust is so funny.
It is. This guy is the thing I remember of this. It is one of the first 2 things I remember of this movie. is just what the heck is this guy?
Yeah, I will say I like how devious he comes off as. I will say I am a little annoyed that his plans are actually kind of obvious. In, like, they're actually kind of obvious, but nobody really, nobody, figures them out, really, until near the end.
Yeah.
But I do like that he at least has, the actor does a really good job of...
Yeah, the actor
portraying him.
sells the show
Yeah.
for the character, where it's like, this guy is just having fun with this role the whole time.
Yeah.
Of just being the what you can guess rich prick.
Yeah, but he's also... I think that's why I really like the whole dynamic, his whole dynamic where he has to keep Tank under control. I feel like that really sells how devious he is, because it's like he's the one that's like, okay, I'm gonna keep calm and handle this situation.
Yeah, he's a
carefully.
really good manipulator. like he manipulates the whole the whole turn of events, and it's actually yeah, he's actually kind of a threat. And the grin he gets when he thinks he killed somebody is Jesus.
Yeah. But then I feel like it is undercut a little bit when you realize that some of his plans just don't really some of his plans don't really make that much sense.
Yeah.
When you really think about them.
And also the fact where it's this is... I assume this is televised. I assume there are cameras everywhere. How the hell does no one notice this?
Yeah, I'm like, how does he get away with all this stuff? And then there's also the part where where we already mentioned, where he's like, aha! We'll make them go off the track! Oops, I literally gave him a shortcut! And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It does have that problem, but other than that, he's...
Yeah. I still think he's a very successful... I still think he's a pretty successful antagonist.
And very entertaining.
Yeah.
Very entertaining character. Sylvia?
Sylvia's really fun.
How quick they get you to think about... to believe in the romance is really good.
Yeah, they do
they do really good job where it's these two clicked. Go.
Yeah.
It's very believable. And also, she's not just completely... she doesn't just completely romance Goofy. She also tries to... she also just gives him advice and helps him.
Yeah. She's just cool.
Yeah.
This is a Sylvia appreciation zone.
Yeah.
It is also... I also do like how she has that moment of being upset with Goofy, but it doesn't get to the point where you're kind of like, okay, come on, be reasonable with him. She does get upset with him, and she is like, okay, you need to apologize, but when he does, she's like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. He clearly is trying his best to fix it. It's okay, I'll give you a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great.
The dance scene?
The dance scene, oh my...
There's a reason
probably,
that is the most...
That was a moment where we were like, oh my gosh, this animation is crazy.
Do I even need to say that it's the most famous part of the movie? Do I even need to say that?
No. I feel like it was also the biggest moment where you're like, the early 2000s vibes are immaculate right now.
Which is hilarious considering it's a 70s song.
I know. I guess it was kind of 70s vibes, wasn't it? The vibes were immaculate, I guess. Whatever kind of vibes they were immaculate.
Yeah.
I just don't know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, that scene is the other thing that I immediately think of when I think of this movie, because, yeah, of course it is. And thus the reason why I picked the song that I did for this review.
Yep.
So...
I think we're on to the goofs.
Yep. Which one, or do we do both of them at once? Because I don't really know how to really cut them in half.
Yeah, I feel like we just talked about them both.
Yeah.
We talked about their relationship a little bit earlier.
Yeah, where it's clearly a continuation from the first one, and you can tell, like, the first movie's events are still in their minds. Like, they've reconciled most of their differences. Max is still embarrassed by him, but that's about all it gets to, and wanting to get his own life for a bit.
Yeah, and I think I just really appreciate how. I did gotta say how that I like how realistic it feels, but I want to kind of emphasize that there's two issues that I sometimes run into with fiction, where either it feels like they go back on it completely and they forget about the development they had, or they're like, okay, we have this character development and now we have no more problems. And I feel like in this case, they're sitting in a really nice middle ground that actually feels really realistic.
Yeah, where it's like they clearly reconcile. It's still they still have their issues with each other.
Yeah, it's like when the emotions get high, they still kind of run into their old problems, but they're a lot more capable of working through it and empathizing with each other now. Which is like super cool. It's so cool to.
One thing I can also say that this movie does really well is evolve from the original movie's theme of your son growing older to your son your son growing apart.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that detail. Like it's the same concept but evolved.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they really sell it at the end of being like Max's gift to Goofy, where it has like inscribed that like
I'm not going to be your boy, but I'll always be your son.
Yeah, like that really just encapsulates their relationship perfectly.
Yeah.
In this movie. And it's really great.
Yeah. I think that's everything. Final thoughts?
Yeah, this movie feels like it's kind of higher highs and lower lows than the first movie in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But considering that it even matched it is high praise for a Disney sequel.
Yeah, where it's like, this does not happen. Even today, this does not happen. Often.
Yeah, and there's also, and like I said, with like the way they portray their relationship, it's like, I don't see that very often. It's really interesting, unique writing, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great movie. I had a great time with it.
Would you recommend?
Absolutely.
Yes, very much so. Like, and also, don't worry, guys. This movie is not expensive anywhere. If you're not finding it on a streaming service, you can find the DVD for like $5. Like, this is not an expensive Disney... Like, the Goofy movies are not expensive Disney movies. They're not trying to sell you these for, like, $25 because they're classics. This is for the audience that likes them. And the price shows where it's like, if you want to find these, you easily can.
Yeah. Yeah, both the Goofy movies, they are really great, and I absolutely recommend them too. Honestly, I feel like most people, like, I feel like if you are even in like the category of people who enjoys Disney movies, who like enjoys Disney movies, you will probably love the Goofy movies. They're both. They feel like they fit into the category of movies that it's just like almost anybody can enjoy these movies.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the duologies where I do not hear people talk about these movies nearly at all. But every time I hear someone actually talking about them, they love them.
Yeah. Like, I don't feel like they're super likely to be like your favorite movie, but you're probably going to look at them fondly.
Yeah, where it's like, I've watched these both of these multiple times. The only reason I didn't watch an extremely Goofy movie multiple times recently was because I didn't have a DVD of it, and after the rambling review of the first one, I wanted this one to be. Like, once I found them, I was like, no, I want to wait and not have bias towards this one because I remembered this one being really good.
Mm.
Yeah, it's still good. It's still really, really good. Like, if you want to watch if you are looking for Disney movies that you've never watched and you haven't watched the Goofy movies, highly recommend. Like, if you are wanting Disney, and you have not watched these, do so.
Yeah. Also, I am very much sold on... I'm pretty sold on... I want to see Max in Kingdom Hearts. I think that'd be really fun.
Fine! Yes! Another to add to the cult.
It's also just, like, I also think it's... I mean, you talked about this. It'd just be really fun for Sora to be like, wait, you have a son? What?
Yeah.
You never told me?
He's got his own life. I think that's the only reason that they wouldn't do it, is because that it'd be really, really awkward to introduce him this late.
Kingdom Hearts is...
But there's not... But also,
things.
Kingdom Hearts.
You could... Nomura could do it.
The only reason I don't see it happening is because Max would not be, like, a selling point on the back.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the...
But, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that they pulled something way out of left fields, and even specifically the realm of Mickey Mouse stuff.
Fair point. They did the Free Mouseketeers and they did Tron. I don't think anyone saw any of those two. And they
took freaking Julius. I'm not even sure exactly what he's from. Like, I think I looked it up once. He's from, like, there's, like, some random obscure Mickey Mouse thing that he's from.
Mm-hmm.
And they just were like, yeah, we'll just make him a secret boss in Dream Drop Distance.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's the fun of it. But yeah, definitely. I'd also... the only other thing where it's like, Max is clearly a 2000s kid, I don't know how well he'd be implemented in modern time, is another thing.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, this is all just speculation.
I will say, though, a lot of, at least the OG Kingdom Hearts fans, I think are on the 2000s train. I mean,
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is mid-2000s to the core.
Yeah.
I mean, totally owns you lamers.
Yeah.
This is a line that exists in that game.
Fair point. But yeah, if I'd be down for it. I don't know how well it'd be implemented, but I would be down for it.
Yeah.
Make him the master of masters, you won't. Fuck the timeline. Figure it out, nerds.
Oh.
Ray Case's Max Goof.
Oh no.
Why are we all wearing gloves?
What?
Thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day or night. Watch the movie if you haven't, and take care.
An extremely great day.
Yeah.
A movie!